Hey, PC Games Girl here, and hello and welcome to my Lore Master class guide video for the Lord of the Rings Online. Alright, so, my Lore Master that I'm going to be using for this whole video is a human woman named Audia, and Lore Masters can be either elves or humans. And Audia is in the Beastmaster trait line, which is the blue trait line. And that is the one that primarily focuses on their pets, because Lore Masters are the pet class in the Lord of the Rings Online. Okay, and, excuse me, the eagle that she just summoned is a pet particular to her trait tree line. So if you have a Lore Master and you would like to have an eagle and don't already have one, go ahead and put some points into the blue trait tree line until you manage to unlock the eagle. And I have the eagle as my primary pet that I use because they are the most versatile, they have very high morale, they give you extra power in combat regeneration, which is the whole nobility buff that both Gwaine, my eagle, and I have, and if anyone else was in our fellowship with me and my birdie, then they would also get that nobility buff if they were near Gwaine, which is super, super cool. And that whole power regeneration buff thing is extremely helpful. Oh, Audia just broke her leg. But it's super helpful because Lore Masters primarily use their power, and their main stat is will, which helps strengthen their spells and whatnot, because they are one of the main magic-using classes that are in the game. And they use their magic to roast stuff with fire, and they can use ancient lore if they're in the yellow line, the yellow trait tree line that is. And their skills are focused on crowd control type of things, and giving buffs and debuffs, and basically anything for their support role, because they are a support role class who is based on Lord Elrond Half-Elven in Rivendell, who we will be in his library at the very end of the video. But as you can tell, if you have traipsed through the Lord of the Rings environment at all in this game, that I am questing with Audia in Moria at the moment, which is really dark, so I do apologize if things look a little bit dark at any point in the video. I did my best to make it look as light as possible, just so that you guys could see everything happening properly, but I did my best, I promise. But yeah, the eagle is really helpful because they can, they have 3 different skills that are unique to the eagle, just like all the pets have 3 skills that are unique to them. But the eagle's 3 skills, the first one that I use most often is called Fan the Flames, if I recall correctly, but it's the one that makes it so that any fire skills that you use against your enemies do more damage than they would otherwise. And it also makes the enemies temporarily a bit afraid. And let's see, the other one is a pure just damage one. Ooh, lightning! And their third and final skill I will be showing off in a little bit, but that one is really cool, and that's the main reason that I have my eagle out whenever I'm questing in a new area. And that skill is called Sacrifice, where the eagle will sacrifice themselves to revive you if you are defeated and they are still alive. And it's kind of embarrassing how often that actually happens to me, so I usually have Gwaine out just in case. Oh, man. But yeah, in that pinkish buff thing that just went away on Gwaine, I believe that is one where it's like after battle treat or something like that, but that heals their morale a little bit after they have been in combat, and all of my pets get that because I'm in the blue trait line, which, like I said, is completely focused on the pets because I'm a total animal person, and that's just simply how I wanted to play with my Lore Master. Oh gosh, excuse me, I just woke up, so if my commentary is a little off, I do apologize. Alright, and I was just healing Gwaine of his fear there. Oh yes, and here I'm going to be showing off the revive, like I just told you guys. I'm aggroing the bejesus out of everything nearby. While Gwaine is just sort of like, how can I keep up with this? Oh my gosh, what? And let's see, the glowworms are biting me into oblivion here. They're biting me, they're hurting me. And now I'm dead, and Gwaine is attempting to revive me. Do I accept? Yes, I do. And bang! That's what it looks like when the eagle saves your sorry butt. And now I am summoning my raven, who I like to call Joe, even though I gave him a fancier name that you can read if you like. But in any case, the raven is the first pet that you unlock if you are a lore master. It's the one that you start out with. And ravens are good for buffing and debuffing. And basically what that means is that their skills are focused on making, like, see, the one I'm just using there, the Benediction of the Raven, that makes your fire skill stronger, kind of like the Eagle's Fan the Flames skill does. Oh gosh, excuse my voice, sorry guys. And let's see, I'm just roasting everything with fire magic, and that evasion or whatever, diversion, whatever that skill was, it distracts ranged enemies, those who attack with arrows and bows and that kind of thing, or those who attack from afar with magic, like this particular orc is. That skill is useful for distracting them so that they miss you instead of actually hitting you. So if you are fighting with your lore master and you are facing enemies who are at range, I highly recommend pulling out your raven and using the distracting skill so that they hit you less often, especially if you don't actually want to get hit and are watching me derp on the stairs there. Okay! And here, I will be having Joe do a debuff thing, or buff on himself rather, to make himself better at evading the enemy's attacks on him, see evasion. And that is super helpful, especially if the enemy's starting to do quite a bit of damage to your poor little raven and you really don't want them to die. And here, let's see, who am I summoning now? Oh, I'm summoning my bear now. And the bear, if I recall correctly, is the second pet that you unlock, although I think that may have changed because I made my lore master over 2 years ago, well, around 2 years ago actually, and things have changed quite a bit since then, so I don't know what order exactly the pets are unlocked in now, but the bear was the second when I made my lore master, and I think they still are. But in any case, bears are really helpful if you want your pet to be tanking for you. They have a particular skill that they can use to generate threat, which I think I tried to use just there, but it didn't work. And there, I think I just tried to use it. Yeah, I just used it there. But in any case, the bear can tank for you, which is super helpful if you want the enemy to focus its attacks on your bear while you are shooting fireballs and whatnot at your enemies, so that it doesn't do any damage to you, and it barely hurts your bear either, because they're super strong. They can take a lot of crap. And a thing that I did not mention yet that I really should is that there are cosmetic pets and combat pets and cosmetic versions of combat pets. Now, the combat pets are obviously the ones that you use when you're fighting, like the bear and the raven and the eagle that I've shown you so far, and a few other pets that I'll be showing in a little bit. But there are cosmetic versions of them, like for example, this is a polar bear instead of just a normal bear or whatever. And let's see, I'm going to be pulling out my Lynx now, who I adore because I'm a total cat person and my Lynx is super awesome. And my Lynx is a Tundra Lynx instead of just a normal Lynx. And the way that I got that was through these like talisman type things that basically you just read this book thing and then you can summon a different looking type of combat pet, but they perform the exact same as their normal counterparts or whatever. Whereas cosmetic pets I will show you at the end of the video, and they are purely for show, just to follow you around looking cute. They don't help with fighting or anything like that, but they're adorable. Now the Lynx is super helpful for DPSing, and excuse me, let's see, I'm just curing myself of something there. I didn't quite see what, probably like a wound or something. But in any case, the Lynx is super helpful for DPS. They are usually stealthed. They are pretty much invisible unless they've just been in combat. It takes them a few seconds to cool back down, so to speak, and put themselves back in stealth mode. But as you'll see here, there, Missy is in stealth, and then bang, she appears just as I'm roasting that enemy. And that attack, that sneak attack that she did, made her cause even more damage than she would have otherwise. And the other two skills that she has, that all the Lynxes have, are just a couple more just pure damage, like clawing and biting type of skills, because I mean she's a cat. And those particular skills, I believe, I know for sure at least one of them damages multiple enemies, but I think the other one might too. I'm not entirely sure. But for the longest time, I unlocked my Lynx at level 30. I think you still unlock them at level 30. But I used my Lynx all the time until I got my Eagle, and I still pull her out frequently because I'm the best at playing with her. She fits my personal playstyle very well, and she's adorable. So what's not to love? Oh goodness. And I haven't actually talked about my skill setup yet, so I'm going to try and do that really quick. And basically the first skill that I have is the Light of the Rising Dawn, and then the one after that is Burning Embers, and then like Wizard's Fire. Yeah, see, here's the Burning Embers, there's the Wizard's Fire, there's the like one of the wind ones, and then the one next to it, that one, is another wind one. That wind one does frost damage. The Burning Embers and Wizard's Fire obviously do fire damage. I just roasted those orcs' butts with my Sticky Gourd skill, which is glorious. And the Light of the Rising Dawn is a stun. Now that is a pure crowd control skill, because crowd control stuff just means anything that like slows the enemies or does damage over time, that kind of stuff. Anything that controls the enemies or like determines what they're going to do type of thing. And here I am using one of the heals that lore masters have, which is the Inner Flame one, which you can only use if you have one of your combat pets out. And I'm giving Missy some Catmint, which is a special treat that you can give to any of your pets. Now let's see, who am I summoning here? Ugh! I just summoned Yucky, my Bog Guardian. I hate Bog Guardians, that's why Audia is crying. But I hate them because they're seriously ugly. They are perfectly good and adequate pets for your lore master. They're just absolutely hideous to look at, in my humble opinion. But they are primarily focused on doing ranged damage to your enemies. And they have a skill that lets them sick a hive of bees on your enemies. And then I think they have one that lets you trap your enemies, like make them like stay still for a bit, like stunning them type of thing. And then I think the other one is just like a pure damage one. But in any case, I think I'll be sticking the bees on it soon. Yep, there go the bees. There go the bees. Yeah, I never ever fight with Yucky, my Bog Guardian, because I think he's so yucky. That's probably terrible, but I never ever pull him out. The only reason I did was for the purpose of showing you guys how they work, because, ugh, I hate them. There's nothing wrong with them, but I hate them. They're just so ugly, because they did not used to be a pet that the lore masters could have. Every single one of those things that you would ever see in Middle-earth used to be an enemy. So forgive me for being completely creeped out when they decided to add them as a pet for lore masters. I was just like, why do we have those? Every time I've ever seen them, they've been trying to kill me, and they're extremely creepy looking. What the heck? But a lot of lore masters use their Bog Guardians, and every time I say it personally, I whimper to myself because they're so creepy, but you know, they are very effective at what they're meant to do, so, you know, just saying. Personally, I don't like them very much, but they do their job, and they do it well. And let's see, just killing this goblin thing and trying to stick bees on it, but it died before the bees could reach it. And, oh my gosh, let's see, I don't know how many more things I kill before I finally put Yucky away, but I will be so happy when I put him away. Oh gosh. Well, anyway, while he's out, I might as well mention that, you know how I've said that there are fire skills, and there's frost skill, there's also lightning skills, which you've probably seen once or twice if you were watching the actual video instead of just listening to me talk. But the lore masters can do different types of damage that are based on like different things in nature. Like that was light damage, which is light as in light and dark, not light as in, oh, it barely did anything. And then there she's using the fire and the wind, which is the frost one, which is cold, very cold. Oh, thank heaven. Now I'm putting Yucky away. Goodbye, Yucky. I hope to never have to see you again. Oh, hallelujah, he is gone, and I'm fainting because I'm so relieved. Okay, and now pulling out one of my newest pets, and her name is Felina. She is a Saber-Tooth Cat, and I only recently unlocked her when I hit level 56. So that is one pet that I know for certain you unlock when you are at level 56, because I only just recently did that, because Audia is level 58 at the time I am saying these things. And I'm not sure if she's level 57 or 58 at this point in the video, because I can't really tell because it's too small. But in any case, Felina, my Saber-Tooth Cat, is extremely nice. I love her. She is awesome. Saber-Tooth Cats are obviously gigantic cats who claw stuff and bite stuff for you, but they mainly deal frost damage, which I found to be pretty interesting. I was not expecting that. Ooh, lightning! But the Saber-Tooth Cats deal frost damage, like I said. Their first skill, that blue one, deals like just pure frost damage and makes your frost spells that you deal even more effective. So like the Gust of Wind spell, I used that one shortly after sicking Felina on something and having her use that skill. And then the other two are just like pure damage skills that use frost damage, if I recall. Because I haven't had her for too terribly long, so I'm not as familiar with the Saber-Tooths as I am with some of the other pets. But I've really enjoyed playing with my Saber-Tooth because she's a cat, but she's big and intimidating, and she makes some of my spells stronger, so that's really nice. And let's see, she has white fur and blue eyes and extremely long fangs, and I don't have a cosmetic version of the Saber-Tooths yet, so that's just what the default Saber-Tooth cats look like. Whereas with the bears, the default is a young grizzly bear, like one that's only like a year or two old or something like that. It's only like half grown. And with the lynxes, they look pretty much the exact same as Missy, only like tan instead of white. And that bog guardian, I didn't do anything cosmetic with it because I never pull it out like I said. But yeah, and my raven is actually a blood raven, and the normal ones are just pure black with their feathers. Ooh, using the cat mint again. But my particular raven is a blood raven because of a cosmetic thing that I unlocked for him, which you can have jewelers make. So if you want to get all the different appearances of the combat pets, go ahead and have your lore master be a jeweler, or at least befriend someone who is a jeweler so that you can have those things made for you. And let's see, just roasting an arc and using all my skills on it. Alright, what am I pulling out now? Oh, I'm pulling out the Spirit of Nature, which I never ever really use because I usually fight solo. In fact, almost always I play solo when I'm playing with Audia. And that thing is only really useful if you are healing in a group, but I just needed to show it off for you guys anyway, and I hadn't actually really played with them at all until I made this video for you guys, so this was me discovering how the Spirit of Nature things work. And just watch my health throughout this little segment here, and you will notice how completely useless this thing is for just fighting one-on-one with just you and your pet, rather than being the healer in a group. Because lore masters are capable of healing for a group. They're just not the absolute best at it, just because they don't have quite as many healing skills as they do offensive and pet-related skills. Which is why they are considered a support class instead of a full-on like healer class or something like that. But yeah, look at how her health is like halfway down. So I just used the Wisdom of the Council skill, which is extremely helpful. I only ever use it in emergencies if her health is really, really low, because it has a very long cooldown, but it heals half of their health and then does all these other buff things that you could read if you want to go back a few seconds and read as I moused over that, feel free. Excuse me. And let's see, just roasting an orc while my little spirit thing just hovers there looking pretty, but not actually helping me at all. Yeah, they're pretty useless with actual combat, but they're supposedly much better for healing, and based on what the skills that they have do, like, see, just read them as I mouse over them like that, you'll see what I mean by how they're really meant towards healing and not for just going through questing solo or anything like that. So I'm probably not going to use my nature spirit again unless I'm fighting in a group as the healer, which I basically never do. So I'm probably not going to pull it out again, which is why it has just a random name, but yeah. Oh gosh. Yeah, and see here I'm doing the Inner Flame skill again, which heals both you and your pets, but I have a tendency to use it even if just my health is down and not my pets, because it's easier than using tons of Ethylus. Now, goodbye, little spirit thing. Alright, and let's see. Now I have Gwaine out again, and I'm going to be using a skill to make him not be able to be knocked out or stunned for a while. And then let's see. Here I am using the Dispelling Corruption skill. And then I'm just roasting that thing with magic and like taking all of the buffs that were on the orc. Ooh, lightning. That's what the Dispelling Corruption thing was about. And then here I'm just healing Gwaine with the Light of Hope, which looks super epic, and she goes like, wah! Oh gosh. And then let's see here, we're just fighting an orc. And then I think I'll be healing Gwaine again afterwards, because I think he gets pretty hurt. Oh, no, I'm not. I'm using the Draw Power skill, which is an extremely legit heal. As you can tell, it like just shoots the magic from you to your enemy, and you're draining the power and health from your enemy and pouring it into yourself, which I think is extremely cool, and it has a really nice animation. And let's see here, since I didn't have any friends on this particular server who were the same level as Audia, so I just decided to show you guys what it's like fighting with an ally with an NPC ally, because for a particular quest I had this little dwarf guy following me around, so I was like, might as well show that off. Just so that you guys can see what it looks like when you have your lore master and you're fighting with someone else, not just with you and your pet. But as you can tell, the dwarf didn't exactly help too terribly much, because I found out that he only engaged the enemy if it attacked me. If it attacked Audia, he would help. If it attacked my bird or any of my other pets, then he would ignore it. He would just sort of stand there in battle stance. But if it actually tried to do damage to Audia, then he would help. Which I found really, really weird, because obviously you don't really have that problem with any of the other classes, because lore masters are the only pet class. But captains have a little person who follows them around, but they're probably the only other class who may have experienced this sort of thing, where it's like the NPC will only help you if it's attacking you directly and not your little ally that you summon. But see, here the dwarf is helping because the orc tried to attack me. I was trying to make it attack me so that he would actually help, because it was weirding me out that he was literally just standing there watching us fight. Oh, hello, Gwaine. He was just clipping through the camera. But yeah, see, that's why I ran ahead of Gwaine instead of just shooting from afar and letting Gwaine handle it like I normally do, because I wanted the dwarf to help, because, like I said, it was weirding me out that he wasn't. But yeah, see here, I'm just shooting at it with the magic. Gwaine is going ahead of me, and the dwarf is just simply standing behind me. So that's a random thing about the NPCs when you're fighting with a lore master, is that if you want the NPC to help you fight, you have to make sure that the enemy damages you and not just your pet. Which was really weird. Oh, and also, I don't know if you could tell at any point, but the little dwarf that was following us around had that nobility buff that Gwaine gave, because, like I said, if any of your allies are standing near your eagle, they will also get its nobility buff. And that seems to work for NPCs as well as other players, which I found to be really interesting. And let's see here, it's fighting that. Yay! And I just completed a quest, or just got one. Potentially, yeah, I completed it. And then my legendary thing increased. And then we're just killing this stupid goblin. Oh yeah, and at level 40, as you can tell, she was just fighting with her staff and her sword. At level 40, at least it was when I was at level 40, you unlock the ability to wield a sword as well. And here I'm doing some just full-on crowd control stuff, using my sticky tar and my little earthquake cracked earth thing, which I think looks amazing, and then the sticky gourd, which just shoots fire everywhere. And those are skills that attack multiple enemies at once. And then, let's see, that I think that was called Bane Flare, but in any case, that was a stun spell that works on multiple enemies at once, so that's why I showed that off right there. And my beautiful little Lynx Missy was helping me there, and it was wonderful. And then here I am fighting with Gwaine at my side, and I'm using this guitar and the gourd and the earthquake thing again. And look at the stairs, and you can see the cracks from using the cracked earth. And now it went away. but for just a little bit you can see that remnant of it, and I think it looks so cool. I'm really glad that they added that little extra detail because it just makes it so much more fun, because it's like, oh my gosh, I just left cracks in the ground because of the spell I did, and it was so intense, whoa! And then I was just examining the carnage I had caused here. I mean, look, everything's like smoking and black after that battle. And I was just like, oh my gosh, what? So I made Audia shiver because she was just so disturbed by the carnage she left in her wake. Oh gosh. And this is a really, really helpful lore master skill. It's called Knowledge of the Lore Master. And I don't know what level you unlock it at, but if you read all those stats and whatnot on that orc, you can see very clearly what sort of damage types it's most susceptible to, what types that it defends the most. It defends against the best, I suppose you could say. Gwen just scared that orc with its fan the flame skill. His fan the flame skill, I should say. But yeah, that Knowledge of the Lore Master thing, if you're not sure what type of damage is best to use against an individual type of enemy, say an orc or a goblin or a troll or an evil human, then just use that skill and you'll figure it out pretty quickly. And here I was showing off doing a Lore Master quest because I did not actually expect to have to do a class quest while I was in Moria, because it's been a while since I've been in Moria, but I did, so I just showed you guys here me collecting some texts because that's what lore masters do. And then, oh my gosh, this troll though. This troll was absolutely weird. Okay, so for this one quest I had to find out what was causing tremors and whatnot. And then I discovered that it was this troll. So Gwen and I took on the troll, which was completely normal, and you know, since it's a troll, it was a signature. So I was expecting a really hard fight. But I have never in my life had a battle in LOTRO go the way this particular battle went. See, it threw me backwards over the cliff, but I didn't die. And I was like, what the heck? How am I supposed to keep fighting the troll? Because it was still having me in combat stance. And then the troll jumps down. And I was like, wait, what? And then I looked down and there was a goblin at its feet. And then I was just trying to zap the troll, but it wasn't facing me. And then look, it just jumped off the rail. What? The troll just committed suicide, and I have no idea where it landed because look, it just died. I think it literally just committed suicide to avoid being zapped with lightning and stuff by me. But anyways, oh my god. Here I am showing off all of the non-combat pets, the cosmetic pets, the one who are just adorable and follow you around. Like this sweet little Sparrow, who I think I named Jack because Captain Jack Sparrow is amazing. But yeah, the little sparrow you unlock if you are a kindred in Rivendell, and then you purchase it from some special vendor or whatever. And I'm in Elrond's library here, and like I said, Elrond inspired the Lore Master class, so I thought that it was an appropriate place to end this wondrous video off. And I was just showing how you dismiss your non-combat pets because it took me way too long to figure out how to do that on my own. And here's my bunny rabbit. Oh my gosh, he's so cute. That's why I keep kissing them because they're adorable. But yeah, I don't show off all of my cosmetic pets because I have a lot of them. I just show off some of my favorites. But oh my gosh, look at the bunny. He's so cute. And those you can unlock by using different tomes and whatnot. And one really nice thing about Lore Masters, one thing that I found really cool, is that you see how she's summoning them? She can summon the different animals and whatnot because she understands their speech or their tongue or whatever. So basically to summon that fox, she had to speak fox. To summon the eagle, she had to speak eagle. To summon the bog guardian thing, she had to speak bog guardian or whatever. And I think that that's really cool that basically like your Lore Masters are so smart that they've learned how to speak the tongues of different animals and whatnot. I think I'm going to let Fiona go now. There's Fiona. Bye, Fiona. And let's see, who am I summoning now? Who am I summoning now? Am I summoning my kitty cat? Am I summoning my Leonardo? I'm a total cat person in case you can't tell. Ah! I love you, Leonardo. Oh my gosh, he's so cute. I don't know why, but for some reason the cats sound like multiple cats. But yeah, I'm going to be ending this video here. I hope that you all enjoyed it. Please be sure to give it a like and to subscribe to my channel if you have not already done so, and I will be seeing you all in my next video.